Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with my partners, Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr, Doris Burke on the sideline, as we get ready to start the season in style. We'll see the Miami Heat defending home turf in the Eastern Conference. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first game of the NBA's regular season. This team matched up so well during the regular season last year, splitting their 4 games. This should be a terrific battle.
Well, going back to last year for a second, this was one of the few matchups that they didn't get the better end of things. They split the season series.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Korver and Carroll, and it's Teague in at point guard. Steve, you mentioned the stalemate they played to a year ago. Do you see that happening again this year, Clark?
Kevin, I'm not sure. It's really too early to tell. It wouldn't surprise me, I'd say that much, after what happened last year.
Again, Dwayne Wade. Wade's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Dwayne Wade last season shooting a career high from the field. Not the focal point offensively playing alongside LeBron, but he responded with the most efficient offensive season of his career.
Here's Chalmers, following the basket by Al Horford. Chalmers passes to Bosh. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. Bosh has got his first points of the game. And Wade last season with the fewest three-point attempts, Clark, of his career.
And I think that was by intention, Kevin. He wanted to be much more efficient, so he decided to stay inside the arc. It hasn't been a strength of his throughout his career, but as he ages and loses some of that athleticism, I think he's going to have to look to reshift the balance of his shot attempts going forward.
Teague dishes to Millsap. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's on Chris Bosh. Paul Millsap, not the biggest or the most athletic, but he just finds ways to get it done.
Yeah, he's so well-rounded. He does the big things and the little things to help you win. He's a good passer. He moves without the ball, keeps your offense going, and then, of course, really developed that three-point shot last year, which made him an effective stretch 4.
And Chalmers kicks to Bosh. That is good.
The defense pretty much helpless there, stopping that layup. I think too much of a mismatch in terms of height.
Teague kicks to Horford. It's stolen by Dang. Feeds to Wade. And stolen by Jeff Teague. Up the floor.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
And you can see the importance of that steal. I mean, really a 4-point turnaround with the conversion at the other end right there.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, you negate a basket at one end, score at the other. Now is when the momentum can really shift.
And the call will be against Al Horford. Bosh passes to Wade. Basket is good. The assist from Bosh. 8 points for Dwayne Wade.
And yeah, they're moving the ball now. 8 of their last 10 points coming off assisted buckets.
Steve, nothing makes a coach smile as much as pure, selfless teamwork.
And that one's good.
You know, one thing you have to give Coach Erik Spoelstra credit for is he's not wedded to just one approach. I like his ability to be flexible. You remember after the 2011 finals, for example, he really went back to the drawing board and changed Miami's offense to their small ball approach, but also wanted to get LeBron inside more. The result has been a couple of championship rings.
Kicks to Chalmers. Back to Wade. 6 to shoot. Pass to McRoberts. Millsap grabs the miss. You talk about Coach Spoelstra staying open to new ideas. He spent time in the summer studying football coaches and their techniques.
Yeah, kind of an interdisciplinary interest in greatness. And, you know, that's what goes into building a champion. Spoelstra, very intense and focused, always trying to find an edge, even if he has to kind of step outside the box a little bit.
Here's Wade. Cans the shot with nobody near him. Wade's got 10 points in the game.
He's got the firepower, feeling the rhythm here, going 5 for 5 so far.
Yeah, everything seems to be working. He's in a nice groove.
And the shot is good. The Heat with the lead. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. Wade, right side. To the right side. And the wide open shot from Chalmers. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. And some changes here for the Heat. Outside Teague. And here is Horford. And so the first quarter wraps up without too much action on the scoreboard. Heat lead by 1. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Well, they've come out of that locker room with a hot hand. Those jumpers have been falling for them.
And the fact that they're playing well, close to the hoop, finding points in the paint, I mean, they've got it all going tonight.
We've got Danny Granger. Anderson is out there with Haslam. Then it's Norris Cole. And it's Napier in the 2 spot. So that's who Miami starts the second with. The Heat came into last season looking to three-peat. Anything less would have been a disappointment.
Yeah, well, you could see that they were focusing on the playoffs last year. The Bobcats didn't really stand a chance against them in round 1. It was easy picking for the Heat.
Here's Cole. No good on the 3. Sefolosha dishes to Brand. Takes the 3. Sefolosha misses.
Well, they get back to the Heat last year. A lot of teams in the conference didn't really look to be in the same ballpark as Miami in terms of playoff hunger.
Here's Bazemore. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Good on the shot.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
The Heat have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second.
You know, the Heat did breeze through to the finals, but the three-peat just was not in the cards after they fell to the Spurs. Terrific run nonetheless. 4 consecutive NBA Finals 2 championships. And quite honestly, who knows how things could have gone if the air conditioning didn't fail or any other twist in that epic series. That air conditioning went down in game 1, folks, if you didn't recall that, but it wasn't anything about air conditioning. The Spurs were super hot and well-oiled and highly motivated. They wanted that trophy.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Chris Bosh is checked in for Anderson. Bang comes in for Udonis Haslem. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Napier. Schroeder to Bazemore. And stolen by Granger. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, as you know, Luol Deng, the glue of the Chicago Bulls, was traded away in his 10th season with the team. Coach Tom Thibodeau thanked him for everything he'd done, saying, quote, "You couldn't ask anything more of a player. Practice hard, be a great leader, play for the team, be selfless. Whatever I asked him to do, he did. He embodied what we stand for." Quite a compliment, Kevin.
He'll be missed in Chicago. Thanks, Doris. Now, here's Wade. Had a tough time getting anything going against the Pelicans. He was a non-factor. Here's Bazemore. Wade outside. that one drops. Wade's got 12.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until they prove they can stop them, I mean, they ought to continue to pound it in low.
Josh McRoberts has checked in for Danny Granger. So for the Hawks.
And a look here at the Heat, how they ranked in the NBA last season. First in shooting percentage. Second in steals. And they were in the top half of the league in assists as well. Not elite level, not quite good, but okay.
And Clark, the key number that you just talked about to me is field goal percentage. And when you're the best in the league shooting the basketball, it's a clear sign that you have an unselfish team and a clear plan of attack. That club, very impressive with their offensive efficiency.
Cole, the pass to Wade. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Teague. And there's the call on Bosch. That's foul number 2 for him.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Mario Chalmers, he's checked in for the Heat.
Coach Mike Budenholzer got early consideration for Coach of the Year award honors in Atlanta before a rash of injuries just sidetracked their season, but a promising young head coach, really sharp.
Now here's Millsap. Puts up the baby hook. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
Now, slight advantage for them in the rebound category. They've got to continue their work on the glass.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they're on the right side of the ledger, and that is all that matters to them right now with the lead they have.
And good on the basket. Book it.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
Yeah, they're making the right play. They're working together, and they're just looking for the best shot they can every possession. Al Horford, 6'10", 250, really a natural power forward, has been asked to play at center for his whole career. He's shown himself willing to battle bigger players inside, but you got to think he'd welcome a chance to switch back to the 4 spot.
The Hawks trailed by 12. Here's Teague.
Hammer time.
Wow.
Hammer time.
Out of this world aerial skills for a guy of his size.
Kevin, that's what separates him from some of the other point guards around the league. The ability to rise and throw it down.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that spurs them on. Maybe sparks a little bit of comeback.
And he gets it to go.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting pounded in there. The defense not offering much resistance. They've got to force the ball back out to the perimeter.
Good, and the Heat's lead is got back down now to 10 as they pick up the buckets from Carroll. And so that's the end of the first half. It's the Heat up by 10. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
Nice numbers from D-Wade. 16 points, and he hasn't forgotten to get his teammates involved either.
Well, that's important, Clark. I mean, he's conscious of the fact that moving the ball around gets the defense to move. It forces them to work, and it creates a better offensive flow for his own team.
And so in the game for the Hawks, Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. Teague and Korver in the backcourt. And it's Carroll in at the small forward. Back to Chalmers. Millsap with the steal. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burdick. Doris, what do you have?
Well, guys, obviously a tough blow for the Miami Heat losing LeBron James. As Eric Spoelstra said, this league teaches you that change is inevitable. You have to embrace it and adapt. We don't have any regrets. He shouldn't have any regrets. It was a historic 4-year run. Guys, the Heat are hoping to reload and make another run at it.
Winning starts at the top, and they've got the organization, Doris. You said it. Thank you.
I'd love to see them impose their will a little bit more on the backcourt. Usually that's a great way to take control of a game.
Well, they haven't been able to do that yet, but it's something they're certainly capable of. You have to give the Hawks a lot of credit for what they did last season. They knew they were going to lose some players and have to hit the reset button, recalibrate a bit, but they did so quite smoothly.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Well, for the Hawks, it's been 2 years of big names like Joe Johnson and Josh Smith leaving. Steve, they still remain competitive.
Well, they always seem to have a backup plan in place for whenever a star player leaves. And really, this has been the plan all along, to foresight to create space and picks and cap room. They're trying to build something special here. And, of course, it takes time.
And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. The drive by Wade. Out to the right wing. Five on the clock. From the high post, he drills it. Wade's got 18 points.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
Not often you see a team rely on that shot like they have.
Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. Here's Horford. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws.
Al Horford saw last season come to an end after completely tearing his right pectoral muscle. This only 2 years after a similar injury to his left pectoral. And such a terrific player, you certainly hope he can find a way to stay healthy.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Anderson comes in for Chris Bosh. And Cole subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Now here's Wade. He's got 18. Just 5 on the clock. Offensive rebound. Here's McRoberts. Deng kicks to Wade. Good ball movement here by Miami. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And the offense just getting right to the rim, but at least they saved the layup with the foul.
That's old school basketball rules. I mean, at the end of the day, no easy layup. Earn it from the line.
Josh McRoberts, a pretty unique player, 6'10" power forward who's an outstanding passer and quality shooter from range. But he's not without weaknesses. He could be a better rebounder and maybe a better defender for a player with his size and athleticism.
Danny Granger, he's checked in for Miami. Napier comes in for Dwayne Wade.
11 seconds on the shot.
Well, Kevin, we've got a moment now to look back to last year's Atlanta Hawks. Second in assists, 6th in free throw percentage. And they were in the top 10 in steals as well. I mean, this is a team that really gets after people defensively. Deflections, pressure on the ball, all of that leads to steals.
And the key really to that club, in my mind, was the offensive unselfishness. This was a team, as you mentioned, Clark, that finished in the top 5 in assists per game. So it was the fact that they really shared the ball. They had good ball movement and a good plan of attack all season long.
And Colt gets to Anderson. And the call will be against Al Horford. That's his third foul of the game.
And McRoberts' rebounding rate has declined every season in the NBA, and that's 6 straight seasons to a rate last season that's unacceptable for a guy of his size. I mean, he's got to find a way to make a bigger impact on the glass.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Josh McRoberts. Here's Millsap, and he makes good on the layup. And now it's only a 5-point Heat lead.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
And McRoberts, a starter in his time in Charlotte. His shooting provided spacing for locker room presence Big Al Jefferson to operate inside. Signed by the Miami Heat this offseason, Clark, just before LeBron's decision.
And Kevin, his game certainly would have been a compliment to LeBron, but any team can use a big man who can pass and shoot. And with his athleticism, he still has some upside.
I agree.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open. Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
Here's Napier. And there's the pass to Haslam. Here's Cole. Haslam dishes to Anderson. The drive by Granger.
Well, Danny Granger in his prime, a 25-point-per-game scorer and an all-star, but knee troubles have conspired to hold him back over the last couple of seasons. You know, still an effective role player, but just not the star that he once was.
And he makes both free throws.
Danny Granger dealing with injuries over the last few seasons. His shooting percentages have waned, but we know what a clutch scorer he can be when he's right. Now feeling better, we're seeing some of that spring in his step.
And that one's good. And it's 8 points for Millsap.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
16 seconds left in the third quarter of the game.
Chris Bosh.
Here's Napier. The feed to Dang. Knocked away. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession.
9 seconds on the shot clock.
The three from Bosh. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. The Hawks trail by 10. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Dang and McRoberts holding down the forward spots. And it's Bosh in at the 5 spot. That's the group on the floor for Miami. Here's Dang. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Yeah, nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the back end. I mean, he polished it off perfect.
Miami leading by 12. And the foul on Elton Brand. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.